Yeah, two things, the impact of inflation, and then the most important thing, what can we do about it to combat inflation? This is a surprise for a lot of people. Let's say you're 60 years old. You're 60 years old, you retire, you have a portfolio in retirement of $1 million, and you need $6,000 a month to afford your lifestyle. But we fast forward 15 short years in retirement, that same lifestyle cost of $6,000 is no longer $6,000. In fact, it's $9,300 a month. We keep accelerating 15 more years in retirement. $9,300 a month turns into $14,500 a month. Remember, you retired at age 60 spending $6,000 a month, and now it's nearly $15,000 a month for the same lifestyle. That doesn't include any excess costs that you might need for long-term care or health care. This is just the same lifestyle that you were enjoying at age 60 when you retired. So that is significant. And this goes back to what Haley was talking about. We cannot let this sneak up on us. We have to think forward, because if you start planning for inflation at 75, then there's very little that you're going to be able to do with this. So 5, 10 years before you retire, you want to start implementing strategies to help combat inflation. One of the biggest strategies you can implement is how you construct your portfolio. And one of the biggest unknowns about retiring and portfolio construction is your portfolio should look different when you retire than when you're working. Because the biggest difference of retiring versus working, when you're working, you're putting money into your portfolio. When you're retired, your lifestyle is going to be dependent upon your portfolio and the income it can generate. So what we did here for you is we gave you an idea of what a portfolio would look like when you're working versus what a portfolio could look like when you're retired. And this goes against the grain of probably what you've always heard about investment portfolios and risk. You've always heard the more risk, the better reward, where that's not necessarily the case, especially in retirement. Let's take a look. We have 5 years of performance, starting with that $1 million. This is the working year portfolios. This is the retirement years portfolio. Year one, the working portfolio earned 15%. You're happy. That's a good return. The working portfolio earned 10%. And if I was to ask you which portfolio would you prefer, of course, we're all going to be over here. But let's look at year two. Year two, the market also does well. The working portfolio also does well at 16%. The retirement portfolio, a modest 11% return. The one thing that's constant about markets is they go up and they go down. On average, we see recessions every 5 to 6 years. So if you're lucky, over the course of your retirement, you're going to see 4, 5, 6 recessions. So it's not a matter of if, it's when, and then how does your portfolio react? And that's what we saw in year 3 when the working year portfolio went down 37%. Now that's one thing. If you're working and you're putting money into it, then you can actually benefit from that type of discount in the market. But if you're retired, that could have long-lasting, devastating impacts on your portfolio, which means it could severely impact your lifestyle. The retirement portfolio down only 10%, significantly better than the 37%. And because it didn't drop as much, that means it doesn't have this huge hole that it has to dig out of to get back to even. After 3 years, remember, we started with $1 million. In the working portfolio, only $840,000. $1 million here, almost $1.1 million. This is a much better experience in retirement than the working portfolio. Year 4, the market comes back up, $950,000, almost $1.2 million. And finally, the 5th year, almost $1.1 million, 3% return over here. Not the best. However, because you didn't suffer the huge loss in year 3, that is going to work for a 1-year type of performance. And what's really important is the long-term experience. After the 5 years, working portfolio made $82,000, not too bad. But if we're really looking to combat inflation and keep up your lifestyle with the pace of inflation, we need more of this $211,000 increase with a total difference of $128,000. That is significant. If we're looking to improve our lifestyle or at least keep our lifestyle the same, that retirement type experience is what retirees need.